All right, we're back. B-side STL. Anthony, good morning.
What did we pick for this one?
You know, I have a rule on the show, right? That I always try to pick. In fact, I said it one time that it will always be a St. Louis band. I did, right? You
did.
Tail of the tape.
You did.
This is obviously not a St. Louis band, but in honor of our guest today here, who we'll be bringing on in just a second, I figured let's pull some tunes that kind of connect the dots here. Probably the only reason we literally have met each other is through the fandom of Mr. Bourdain for the Stooges.
That's right.
So I figured, why not? So then I picked. Then the trick was which song. So I picked an antithesis to the episode. No fun. We will have nothing but fun.
Zero.
So it's a little bit of an oxymoron. Maybe that's the better term, right?
You never have fun around these guys.
So we're back. B-side STL. Got another episode here, recording on a Friday here in Midtown at the lovely Dotsac building. I've named the studio the Primate House in honor of
The circus.
the art. Someday, if you're ever interested, ping us up. Come up for a tour. I got a cooler full of bush lights. We'll show you what's up. I got a funny true story for you, though.
What's going on?
This morning, went to my son's PT. He's getting a little work done on him. He's a little busted up. You know, those youth athletes.
Already?
It's too much.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were there and small talking.
Hard on the knees.
Yeah. Hard on everything. Hard on the pocketbook is what it's hard on.
Especially the parent pocketbook?
Yeah, so we were talking, and his therapist's like, oh, what's going on? You know, what are you doing today? I'm like, oh, I got a recording today. And she's like, oh, what's the pod called? And I said, it's B-side STL. She's like, so what does that really mean? I'm like, well, it's like a record with two sides. There's the popular side and then the cool side. And she's like, oh, my God, I got to listen. So,
well done.
I know. How about that? We picked up a WashU PT.
The real side of the record.
Right. Yeah, right. Not the side that made them money.
Nope. That's also a running theme, but
kept the
but the cool side, definitely the cool side.
What have you been up to, man? You've been.
Oh my gosh, we've been drinking from a fire hose. So we have had visitors from Singapore, from Australia, from New York, from Manhattan, Staten Island, San Antonio. Guess a lot of folks before the end of the year.
What is this about? 2 weeks?
Yeah,
last 3 weeks?
The last 2-3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, obviously no names, no super details.
Of course.
Out of all of them, if you had to say there was a direct connection between the individual and a quote B-side location, which location resonated the most?
So that's a great question. So let's just say, so I had an ice cream aficionado. None of them had ever been here. In fact, somebody thought it was Kansas City. So they really had no idea.
That tracks. That totally tracks.
And said he had been here, had come a bunch of times, and it turns out he'd been going to Kansas City. But
what was he looking for? Ted Lasso? Or what's?
So I was really torn between. Now this happens a lot between Clementines and Ted Drew's. So whether we give them custard or we give them ice cream.
Yeah.
And she was kind of a she was a legit foodie,
little bougie,
and particularly, she had heard of Nathaniel Reed, and she had started to hear this. I'm starting to notice this. I don't know if it's Instagram or what's happening, but what they're following. But now, so people used to land in St. Louis, and they would always say custard Ted Drew's. That was the thing. Yeah. Everyone said. Now I'm getting a little 50-50. So
for Clementines. Yeah. Tamara Keefe.
Yeah.
She we had her over for a chat.
Did you?
Yeah. Josh over on Baked In podcast.
Yeah.
And you immediately understand why it's working.
Yeah.
Because she approaches it as, this is not your, mid-July, sit outside, you want a little syrup on that?
Yeah.
It's like, it's intended to be an experience.
I mean, this woman tried all of it. I mean,
Really?
she went in, did the whole tasting, and it really brought it home. I wanna do a shout out to your spot and your recommendation. So Amsterdam Tavern, we had
my boys.
we had a former professional soccer player. So we went in there for a pint, and that definitely helped.
Did he turn down his corporate job and ask for a bartending gig?
Yeah, he almost. And then
there we go.
We had a vegan moving to St. Louis, and so Treehouse down in Tower
South
Grove
Grand.
and Seeds in Des Moines absolutely just clinched it, sealed the deal. Yep. And then we had a Katie's Pizza really put a good foot forward.
Yeah.
So it was all around. St. Louis was helping us out as they always do.
Last thing I want to point out before we bring the guest on, if we're talking about these things in St. Louis that are kind of like generationally relevant, you talk about Ted Drew's, that's family.
Yeah.
Long time, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward to Tamara and Clementine's and Katie's and what's going on. I believe, and I would put $1,000 on it right now. Nothing was more relevant to St. Louis culture, to who we are, what we do, kind of what that quote brand is, right?
Yeah.
And Nikki Glazer on Saturday Night Live.
I know. And when did we hear about it?
No.
Enough? No. We didn't.
The queen of comedy, of roasting.
The episode, by the way, was hilarious.
Oh, my God.
It was brilliant.
And she did what she does.
Crushed it.
There was nothing off the table.
No, I know.
And
it was amazing.
And what did we hear about? A backup pitcher deal for the Cardinals.
And by the way, a celebrity who lives here.
I know.
Who still lives
She came home.
She came home and stayed home.
Yeah. FY. Yeah. There you go, people.
So, come on, gang.
That is the that even sounds cheesy to go. That's this STL update of the day. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm breaking all kind of rules today, man.
It's okay. You can get cheesy.
Well, let's do it. Introduce your friend. Let's get this going.
You did have that birthday, so you might be getting into that territory.
You know what's funny is as you age,
you hit a big one.
You're worried about clarity. You're worried about your wherewithal.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel pretty good. I don't think I haven't. I'm not losing a step since Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's a short period of time. Time will tell, but I feel pretty good. So let's do this.
Well, I wanted to bring on, as we talk about being a cultural affairs attaché, so to speak, and a fixer for St. Louis. I thought we would bring on the world famous and ultimate first fixer, Mr. Zamir Gotta. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, товарищи, друзья. Спасибо за приглашение. The Russians have come.
The Russians have come. Welcome.
So I've watched Red Dawn 38 times.
Me too.
So I was fully prepared for today.
It's got to be the 80s version.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming, man. Really appreciate you joining us.
Cheers, Zamir.
Thank you.
Why don't we start at the finish line first? You got a lot of things going on right now. You're kind of bouncing around. You got books. You got vodka. You got a lot of things. What I would say what's new in your world, but it sounds like quite a few things. What's going on, Zamir?
Well, everybody, good morning, and very happy to be back and meet some old dudes who thought that I disappeared from the surface of Earth. Didn't happen. No. Uncle Zamir is watching you, Anthony.
I know
sure
he
it's
is.
Good news or not. So
I get those pings. I know you're watching.
So seriously, have a lot of things in the air and need your support. As an underdog, self-book published, self-film produced, self-vodka nearly made and self new tie-in, like Gotta Travel. But now I'm trying to switch from, Gotta Travel abroad. Let's Gotta Travel within the U.S. Seattle, the food mecca in the Midwest. I just started my book tour. One of the first appearances, Cleveland, and second time there. When locals said, "Welcome to Midwest," I'm like, no, I know only one Russian bear in Midwest, Anthony.
Yeah.
Louis, not Cleveland. I said, no.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah, did they get to call Cleveland the Midwest? I guess
now?
so.
Just like 3 weeks ago.
You set them straight. Good for you.
Maybe I scared them to death. But anyway, seriously, what people just tell me that it's Cleveland, not Kansas City and St. Louis, as I originally thought. I realized something is not cooking right, so I'm here to explore.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you came and you landed in the Midwest.
In the Midwest.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, because look, just pull up a map. I mean, I always love when people try to define regions of America. We're from the the Midwest, and they're in like far eastern Ohio or Pennsylvania. And it's like,
Or they say
no,
nationwide and it's just East Coast cities. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
Let's start with the book. You self-published. You obviously have lived a checkered, huge life. All your experiences, locations, the people, the passions, the stories, etc. How did you come to the concept for the book, and how did you narrow down maybe the focus?
Amazing question. Do we have like 20, 30 minutes?
We got all morning. How much vodka did you bring with you?
That's
We got
exactly why I'm not the full bottle. That's why I cannot deliver the full solid hour.
Pop over to YouTube. You're going to check this stuff out in real time. So, so focus of the book.
So the book, it's not actually my book. Let's be honest. Late Anthony Bourdain, after Cleveland public appearance, I was his guest to introduce him on stage. Said, "Time for you to write memoir." I said, like Tony, I'm not planning to die anytime soon. I said, "Dude, you're not getting it. Put your shit together, a commie-born young pioneer / cultural attaché, ambassador of peace, across the world, blah, blah, blah." I said, okay. So next morning, asking again, Tony, was it a joke about the book? He said, no, just, deliver the goods. Then I'll write an introduction, help you push it. Okay. Long story short, poor Uncle Zamir had to live through 4 different male co-writers for the original stage in any book, 3 sample chapters, and the book outline. So, professional people, focused, knew some of my stories and stuff. Anyway, I read the stuff and I say, I don't hear Zamir's voice. It will be like John's voice, Bill's voice, Tony's voice, but not Zamir. Okay, next. So, 4 male, hopeless, and all of a sudden, things started from where you don't expect. Someone introduced me to a book agent, Luis de la Haba, from Connecticut. She knew my story, said, Zamir, I know how to sell it. Here is my co-writer. Okay, boom, Miriam. Let's try it. First chapter, I think I love that immediately. I hear myself. Miriam, thank you. That was not easy, but you delivered the goods. Okay, back to the book. So, with the help of this book tour, I'm reactivating my, existing trends. Definitely my travel companion, once Tony is gone, is my juice of positivity and peace. I'm not advertising anything. You don't see the name, but this is my travel companion. Alongside with the other side of Zamir, this is cannoli from probably the best homemade food, Italian food restaurant I was lucky to find. Antonino's Taverna on the hill. Thank you, the family, for always treating me like your family, Papa.
And what did you do? You were there last night? What were you
Yeah.
doing
We
last night?
had the Zamir book signing event. So one of addictions in life, it's not really vodka. It's
funny. It's sweets.
it is
Yeah,
sweets. So believe me or not,
I remember that. I remember
couldn't
when
wait.
we learned that. Yeah.
I couldn't wait.
I
And,
remember when you first came to St. Louis, it was we went for custard and we went to all the sweets, and I realized it's not. You do love the vodka, don't get me wrong, friends, but your real thing is the sweet.
guys, time to walk out of the closet. So we all have our
I just out
skeletons.
you? I'm sorry. I didn't
Excuse
mean to out
my
you.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So let's talk real quickly about food in particular in St. Louis. Coming to St. Louis, you just mentioned Antonino's, which I love those guys too. I think everything they do on that menu is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
But if you can remember back, maybe the first time to St. Louis, what was it? What was it that brought you here specifically when it came to food, and what stood out to you?
A couple of legends, the names I'll never forget. Guys, you helped a lot. First of all, to meet me without any vodka, it was my friend Irina,
Yep.
my probably most successful English language student, and she was a paralegal at the time when my partner in the U.S., Robert Gottlieb, famous book agent.
Were you guys agents? Were you?
Oh, yeah,
guys at,
that's how we
you
started.
At Trident, or was it?
I was.
Or William
became-
Morris's? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
William Morris was the original company.
Yeah.
Robert Gottlieb was executive vice president on the book coast, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's how we met, and that's how we became friends.
And Arena was my attorney, and I always dreamt about bringing Bourdain here.
Yeah, that's how we.
And she said, "Well, as a matter of fact, my friend
Uh-huh.
and mentor Zamir is coming to visit, and so why don't we get you guys together?" Yeah.
That's exactly.
And I met you out in St.
St. Charles.
You landed in St. Charles, not
Yeah. It was
For the first time.
Right. I couldn't figure out why St. Charles.
He's like, I thought there was an arch.
right. Wasn't
Where's-
St. Charles older than? Is it the original? Isn't it St. Charles?
Was
Yeah.
it
the
French
fake?
town or something?
Yeah, it was like was sort of, I think, before the riverfront. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
that was amazing. And so we did we saw some Chuck Berry
Yes.
stuff. We met Kui at Miley, Ben Paremba.
Ben, you remember there was a Peacemaker, a little lobster
yeah, down in
place.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alan Richmond at Sasha's.
Sasha?
We hung out a lot. Yeah.
There was one sec. The guy
was a
who
fun
sadly
trip.
had to close his Cajun food.
Oh, I know. Oh my
River
God,
Bend
that
or
place
something.
was awesome.
Yes.
How did you just pull that out? Riverbend.
You see, I
Zamir,
can,
what?
something is not cooking. I mean, cooking the different direction.
Well, since this is obviously a St. Louis-based show, let me ask you, like, because you're naming these names, and these are the heavy hitters. These are the ones that James Beard, they've got international recognition for their work, for their concepts, etc. And here we are in flyover country, right?
You said it.
And you've been literally every corner of the globe and traveled with probably the most famous foodie, right, of our generation. Were you surprised at kind of the strength and the vibe and the quality of the food here? Because to rip these names off without any hesitation must have left an indelible mark. Did that surprise you?
It did. And Irina, I think she started pitching me visiting her in St. Louis probably like
Yeah.
for a year or so. And since, as a man of logic, I couldn't figure out why should I spend money to fly to the place, who is comfortable without Zamir Gotta.
Why would I go there?
Yeah. So anyway, thanks, Irina. She succeeded. I landed, and one of the first guys who stepped into my life was Anthony, Russian Pierre Bezukhov. Remember Leo Tolstoy?
Yeah.
He was the guy. He was huge, and he had to be like a soldier, become a soldier. Russia at war, like what's new, and he still survives and writes poetry letters to the girl he fell in love with. So anyway, it's so fucking romantic, kind of poor but romantic. I love this combination of good balance thing.
I see that he has a Russian bear kind of vibe to him,
Definitely a little bear. And the other thing that you loved too was we went to Beale, and Marquise Knox was, I think, he was just a kid at the time. He probably still is. Was playing, and you just closed your eyes and listened to the music, the blues music here. I mean, you probably just sat there for hours. I mean, he played for a couple hours.
Comes back
the old Beale before.
I thought I would die in this place. So
yeah,
a little bit of a reason for that. So born in the former Soviet Union, every single piece of art, TV, music world, stardom in any direction was a taboo. Like Beatles, you could not bring your tape or record unless you're a diplomat or some high, standing fucking, musician.
You're part of the Politburo. You couldn't listen to that stuff. Yeah.
do as I say, not as I do.
Forget about it. Yeah. Never in your life. All of a sudden, switch. Time machines. Zamir travels. No more. Prison cage. USSR borders. Boom. Something happening in the world. Yeah, trigger. Shook. Smells like a little bit of deja vu, sort of some restrictions on internet, on travel, everyone reporting to each other. So sadly, it's just like a cycle, a vicious circle, which starts to come back, and that's what I was not happy about. That's why sometimes maybe I overreact.
Yeah.
So don't take it personally. It happens.
But you got to listen to music that you really didn't get.
So
to
that was the dream, and I
experience.
thought, probably it's too much vodka. Maybe it's a nightmare. So when I was graduating, 1974, it was Deep Purple, "Smoke on the Water."
Yeah, and
Hush
Hush
in the sun.
Remember Hush?
Hush. Yes, My Woman from Tokyo.
Bingo.
So, thank you. So that would be the dream to be in our life, and that's what happened. So that's what I couldn't believe.
Okay, let me ask you this, because obviously you consume culture for a living, and I love kind of historical representations or stories about those from around the world talking about American pop culture and its influence on them. The obvious one is like the Beatles and the Stones. They're going to say the blues are, the backbone of rock and roll, and there's so many anecdotal comparisons. For you growing up in this Soviet bloc and being shut off from literally all of the culture. And when the door was open, when you had the opportunity and you knew that you were going to come to the States, what was it about the States culturally that you were most excited to see for yourself, to experience, or maybe engage? Was it food? Was it music? Was it just country? Or what was it?
Terrific question. Let me ask you something, just to double check that
Sure.
we understand each other. In the Cold War, the results. In your opinion, three things: political, financial, cultural, I don't know, religious, any of the reasons. When I ask you the question, what specifically helped or motivated or urged the USSR collapse into different fragments? What was the main tool in Cold War between the West and the East?
So This is Anthony. Mark this. 25 minutes into this episode.
I'm on it.
This is my most favorite question ever because little known fact, senior year thesis, I wrote a paper on the collapse of the Soviet Union, in particular the Baltic states, and the effect of radio and pop culture on the locals.
I was gonna say Disney, Levi jeans, or rock and roll. What did you do? Yeah,
I said music.
You said
I said music. Yeah. They heard it on the airwaves and sending it over.
3 elements. Thank you for the music. You know, the Beatles.
Are those right? What were they?
Listen to this. Lee jeans, Wrangler jeans, Lee jeans, like consumerism.
Yeah.
Culture, like fashion culture.
Sure.
In this way.
Fashion.
So 1, 2, 3, and believe me or not, chewing gum. You're gonna ask, like,
I heard. I don't know why I've heard that, but what's the story? Why?
I was like 6'8". You know, some friends of mine who were smart enough to learn
Go ahead and stay on the mic a little closer.
A couple of English words, so we could just smuggle something from tourists or exchange, right?
Yeah.
So John, like this guy, would have, Wrangler jeans. I would bring something, I don't know, can of Keva if I'm lucky. So something like
barter.
tradable. Yeah, barter. Yeah, like fixing that kind of shit. So that was my
how you
first
started
experience.
Fixing.
My first experience that everything, as long as there is motivation, money, love.
Sure.
I don't know what.
What was really in those toy elephants?
Well, it must be love.
Yeah.
You asked. I don't know. So, believe me or not, you were right, 75%, but without chewing gum, the expression of freedom. Like, you talk to me, you're vulgar, you're like aggressive, fuck you.
Yeah.
Now it's like this.
It's the attitude that people have, when they're chewing
So
it.
it's something which was the first time, probably, the chance to be different from what
it's like the Marlboro Man, right? It's the whole vibe.
Well put, the vibe.
Yeah, that's so incredible to me because, I love politics. I love history. I especially love that generation of history. Hey, are you familiar with the podcast? It's a short series. It's called Wind of Change.
I heard, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, so long story short, you'll have to check it out because you're driving to KC. You got time, right?
Uh-huh.
Basically, the premise of the podcast is really simple. It's Scorpions. It's the late '80s. Soviet Union,
concert,
it's the concert, right? And basically, the theory is that the CIA helped write the song "Wind of Change."
Wow!
Because at the time, that was the biggest hit in the world for a long time, and then the Moscow Rock Blast.
Yes,
they were the headliners, and it wasn't much longer after that wall fell.
Wow!
Yeah. And like, there's so many layers of that story because Doc, their Motley Crue's manager, Scorpions manager, he was busted in a cartel drug sting. 54 people arrested. One person was let go, him. And 6 months later, the Moscow Rock Fest
Number
occurs.
1 song.
Yeah, so you added this all up. It's an incredible podcast. You should check it out.
Okay. A Wind of Change. Thank you.
Wind of Change. So let's move over to let's talk about the liquid. Your liquid gold now.
Your liquid life.
Not rain, no golden rain.
Yeah, no. We leave that to
Do you have enough Russian stories about that?
We leave that to the politicians.
That's right.
Let's talk about vodka.
That
can stay on cable news.
Yeah. Not that it seems cliche, but for a Russian to start a vodka line seems to make sense. Simple question. Why? Why do you want to go the liquid route?
2 aspects. God bless Anthony again. Once talking
Bourdain or Bartlett? Bourdain
both.
Up there.
Now both. Yeah.
You were officially the
One
bear.
is officially
You are now
here,
the bear.
right now the bear. There. So they
say Tony, then they'll know who you're talking about.
Curate me from both heaven and hell kind of situation. So seriously, he said, "Why do we drink vodka we buy in different cities on different occasions we go? Why don't you, Zamir, have your own brand?" And I'm like, "That was the dream of my life since Iraq." Those who read the book, in Iraq there was no funds, so my Soviet older people taught me how to produce moonshine.
Nice.
There
I
you
could
go.
do it easily with you as
Has there
partner
been a big,
investor.
Has there been a big change since vodka?
No.
Vodka was
No.
sort of the thing in the
Now
90s.
it's legal.
Now it's legal.
And in the U.S., after the the December 4th, repeal day, right? Since that time when booze was, legally and officially allowed and you can buy it, a lot of changes happened. People started drinking different types of hard liquor, like vodka, tequila, bourbon, whiskey, you name it. So a lot of competition. So it was tough to do something on my own without big investments. So when Stoney mentioned do it, and then we'll figure out how to put it, let's say, on a top shelf of one of his venues, I said, sure, let's do it. So my vodka was produced, a long story how and when and who helped, but Tony's food court didn't take off.
Yeah.
So here is Zamir with 7,000 bottles produced. So to give tribute to the Honey Falls Distillery people, the friends, there were 3 of them partners, they helped me to get distribution. Texas, Missouri, Michigan, and within New York State. That's where the distillery was.
How Missouri?
Yeah,
What-
Missouri.
Yeah. How did it? Was Missouri like a target, or was that just kind of a coincidence?
A coincidence, thanks to Irina, again, my mole in this part of the world.
We
my
got to meet her.
Most
we got to bring
successful.
her on.
Oh,
She
my
is a
God,
trooper.
she is.
Tony will explain, Anthony,
The bear.
how serious the consequences could be.
And
She's my
as-
lethal weapon.
And as beautiful as she is, brilliant.
And
Truly brilliant.
rare combination, and all men know it. So she convinced me to come over, and before that I realized, so how about, it's like, no, I'm paying money for the travel trip, whatever, why don't I bring some samples, which were ready by that time as a limited 200 bottles, Zamir juice, a little bit different label, but it doesn't matter. So long story short, I land with 6 bottles. I think that's amount I could, squeeze into my
Fit into the bag.
that bag, and was very nervous when I didn't see it. First, when I landed, it was in kind of different luggage, like lost and found something by God knows why reason. So long story short, Irina, as a chain reaction, someone introduced her to Ben Peremba, amazing Jewish origin comrade in crime. So we connected immediately. Very creative man, and Quy, definitely the man who and his family produced, for me, the most delicious Vietnamese food I've ever seen or
Talking about Quy
tasted.
Tran-
The
Quy Tran and Mai
yes,
Li.
and Mai
Yeah.
Li. Thank
Yep.
you.
I remember that dinner.
Wow, I still
That
comes
is
like
one of the best dinners
multiple
I've
orgasm.
That is one of the best
Food
dinners
porn.
I've ever had, actually.
Quy, thank you.
Yeah.
And well, definitely it's not chronologically. Antonina's Taverna, the real Italian family home produced, comfort food, and the atmosphere. I felt like I am a member of the extended family, just from another mother. Guys, thank you
Also,
so much.
St. Louis had a hand in it. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's so different kind of people, different ethnic groups, ethnicity, cultural background, but they all, thanks to food and booze, that's again Anthony Bourdain, probably genius, who managed to package everything under his personal charismatic look.
Yeah.
So you're I'm listening to you talk about, again, coming back to St. Louis. You're talking about Quy and Ben and the crew and the differences in their backgrounds, their ethnicities, the food. And I'm running kind of like a parallel between the show, because I was a fanboy. I watched it all. I remember I told you earlier that we went to St. Lucia on our honeymoon, and I was so excited. We're in the islands, right? And I never left the goddamn room. And not for the reason that most people think. It's because Food Network was on the TV there. And I'm like, I've never seen it, because this is in '01, right?
Early days.
And
Early days.
and it was the typical cooking shows.
Yeah.
But then not long after, here
they
comes...
were so mesmerizing, though.
I
They
know.
really were.
and then not long after, here comes, Anthony and the travels and the debauchery and the rock and roll and everything else, which I gravitated towards. And, and here's his sidekick every now and then, yourself. And it was just really, it was inspiring. And here's where I'm tying this together. When you guys would go to a city, it was... So many of these cities were culturally centered, right? They were a silo because that's just who they were. That's what they did. There was not a lot of food courts in in Middle Eastern Europe, etc. And yet here you are in St. Louis, and what we really are, it's a food court. It's that bouillabaisse, right? Being in America,
in an old European city.
Yeah. So here's my question, because if you take any of the cities that you guys have been to around the world, you can say the culture is, simply put, ABC for the most part, right? How would you describe to an alien that flies down here, what is the culture? What is the food culture in America? Because if St. Louis has this kind of like quality diversity, how would you even describe that? After all your travels.
Amazing question. Excuse me, especially in St. Louis, with your diversity, as you rightly said, Jewish food, like bagels, that's inspiration for me. That's why I brought it again from,
Bagel Union. You're going to go to Florentine after this.
Yes. Yeah. Breakfast after the show kind of appearance. Definitely Vietnamese food. Eye-opening experience for me. Maybe it was not too many times, maybe twice I was introduced to Vietnamese and couldn't really get into it because most of the people recommended soup with kind of cocoa milk.
Yeah.
So I was like melting down. I couldn't really just eat or drink. It was not my kind of chemistry. So that was my stigma, I guess, since that time. But with quiz place, it's like...
you weren't expecting to come to St. Louis to try.
No, I would
Vietnamese.
never in my dreams, to get the orgasm.
And I know Anthony went to Vietnam a bit, but
he loved that. And since day one, he would always remind me, Zamir, if we ever get to retirement age, he would definitely go to Vietnam, and he would recommend me to follow suit. And that didn't happen.
Well, that popped up recently. There was because there's kind of a rebirth, a new interest in Anthony, not the bear, Mr. Bourdain. Kind of a next generation is starting to find the old shows. No Reservation, I saw the other day on like charts, is actually starting to tick up again. Mm-hmm. And there was
super
quote,
interesting.
I don't know. I don't remember who said it, but they were basically like, I remember talking to Anthony, and Anthony said, it doesn't matter where you go in the world. If you ask the best chefs anywhere, New York, Seattle, London, et cetera, if you say, if you had to go to one place, right, and live as a local for the food only, it was Tokyo.
Yep.
And it kind of ties in because so many of his episodes were Asian-based episodes.
Yeah.
And he loved the peasant food. He liked the bowls and the noodles and the spice, etc.
Yep.
And here's where I'm going with this, because kind of the inspiration for our show is literally the peasant side. It's the real side. It's the side that makes you feel that you do that's normal, right? Because St. Louis, as we all know, is known for the arch and toasted ravioli and certain things, and it just becomes kind of played out. And you guys... You went to these places and you chased the underside by default. Why do you think that was? Why do you think it resonated with the world that when he did what he did and told the story of the alley carts and you guys were running around just kind of, being assholes, and in the pubs, right? Why do you think it resonated so well with so many?
Again, amazing question. Let me try to kind of spell out what I think could be the reasons for that. Charisma, right? Energy, like chemistry. I don't know how to explain in better English. So for me, it was basically love from the first sight. It's like, in manly terms, it's like eye contact made me feel like he could be my brother. Like, Misha was short, Anthony tall, so that was the only discrepancy. Otherwise, the same attitude, our chemistry between real blood relatives. Tony wasn't blood relative, but that's how I connected, I think, from day one.
I mean, would you do 11 episodes or how many?
10.
10. And so were you originally, was it 0.0? They hired you to be and then how did you end up in front of the camera?
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, there was no 0.0. It was just
what it was.
couple, Lydia Tenaglia and Chris Collins, probably not married yet.
Yeah.
And they, as a couple, she was
Subtle
more
thing
as a
there. I
camera
caught
person.
that,
He was
Zamir.
more producer, actually, doing camera too.
Yeah.
Convinced Tony to try that first Vietnam or Japan kind of Asian country, him on camera, sort of traveling chef,
Yeah.
based on the success of book one, Kitchen Confidential. So it wasn't really working hard. So I believe when someone they found, Chris as a producer probably in St. Petersburg, without my help or interaction, and that person kind of disappeared, so they had to find someone, and somebody, as like word of mouth, recommended me in Moscow. So that was the reason for the call.
Got it.
And I was surprised why they need Moscow-based fixer in St. Petersburg. So he explained that they cannot rely on them anymore. So I said, sure. So that was one of the reasons I said, the guys really don't have time to find someone else. Let me do it.
You subbed in. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like instincts.
Yep.
So you meet him, your eyes lock in a manly way, of course. When day two comes around,
Day one, still very important. Anthony, I need your help now to pour
Sure.
5 drops to the 2-3 shots.
You
So
got it.
Oh,
You
there
got
we
it.
go.
Talk
time
away.
to use my lethal weapon.
Yeah.
But careful, it's just the last bottle in Midwest.
You got it.
So I'll fill in the gaps while he's pouring. You meet him day one. Big, tall, thin guy from New York.
Yeah, we connected, checked them in that apartment because that was very limited budget, rented apartment, for the crew, for them. Myself and my cameraman from Moscow, Igor Borisenko, God bless his soul. He actually became camera one once we started shooting because Chris was not that good as he was in production management terms. So long story short, at the end of the first dinner, introduction dinner to each other and many toasts, I realized with my kind of experience in life that this guy was not just a chef. He was kind of on a mission to let people outside of US and his kitchen world better understand that thanks to food, all people in the world, mostly peacemakers, I hope, find their friends, like members of the family, and that sense of peace comes with toast. So the toast to peace and love, that was the whole idea of Zamir Vodka, not just to become another Tito. It's not that I don't need the money, just my mission. If you remember, Jesus Christ was distributing wine to get attention of people, not to get them, shit-faced. So I'm on my mission. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
Born
take
as-
this. I have a story for you.
Born as an atheist, forced
Yeah.
to be an atheist. No one asked me
Got to
about
turn that water into wine or vodka to get folks to pay attention.
guys. So in Russian language, 2 words. I love that, Anthony. You're my editorial producer. I have same root. Voda. Sorry. Once again, voda, water, vodka. So the same root. Everyone again, just another attention that look at yourself, look at each other. We're in the same boat. We could either, blow up the whole thing or become friends. So let's become friends, and peace is the only solution to the interaction. I do bottoms up. That's the whole reason I have. Let's break a little bit into 3 parts.
Sure.
Use your hands.
You gotta go over to YouTube here, listeners, because we are literally toasting vodka and breaking bread.
Thank you once again to Ben Paremba and the deli. For me, just the best quality from my early years in the States. Brooklyn, a Jewish family-run bakery, I would think, for bagels. And that was the first time I got everything and became my favorite. So meditation as an art. Now, get distracted from what we're doing and trying
Okay.
just to repeat what I'm saying. 3 times. Breathe in, breathe out. Grain, wheat, we are, like establishing the bridge, like space connection. 3 times. Meditate at the same time, breathe. So once we bite, symbolically, not empty stomach, lining is very sensitive to be damaged by this, Holy Spirit. The toast comes first to peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace and love.
I will do like bottoms up. You don't have to. It is sippable. Try it like this.
Yeah.
Wow. The juice, Zamir's juice, is sweat, blood, and tears. Believe me or not, I'm not Jesus Christ. Guys, there's no competition. I give up. So, once again, behind.
That's actually delicious, Zamir.
Let me ask you a question.
The last drop could only be consumed like that.
On the bread. Let me ask you a question about. I want to connect the dots, just kind of bigger picture, kind of and this is a deeper cultural question.
Don't go that deep, please. I'm sensitive.
No, I remember reading Kitchen Confidential. I mean, it wasn't long after it came out because I too worked in the industry for a while. I was a pizza cook, a line cook, and then worked my way up to the benevolent status of bartender. Did that for years. And I remember reading the book, because when you're in the industry, there's a lot of things that occur that you just know are real, that are true, that are the cogs in the machine that make it all work, that nobody would ever really talk about because it was kind of like your own secret little world. The cigarettes on the back step with the dishwasher and everything else. And, again, you can be in whatever restaurant it is. It's said French restaurant, well, nobody, and he famously says you go to any French restaurant in New York City and it's all the Mexicans in the back that are cooking your food, right? And he kind of like, when he would talk about his roots in the Portuguese community and everything else, and and describing what really makes it all work, it ultimately came down to personalities, character, culture, loyalty, grit, a lot of these things that was kind of colorblind, ethnicity blind. I don't even know, that's an awful word saying, and the book it just was a slingshot for him and opened those doors, right? And I think about, because he's been gone for a while now, and you look at what's going on now globally when it comes to the reverse of that. I wonder, because I love the social commentators in today's world that are just calling a lot of this shit out straight. If he were to be around, like, where do you think he would start? Because what is happening is the exact opposite of like what he loved and had passion for in his book and in his travels.
Anthony, just symbolically. 5 drops, guys. Just
5 drops.
I cannot articulate myself without a toast. You see, I'm kind of addiction in a spiritual way. It was always a dilemma for me, like, with Hamlet, to be or not to be, to live or not to live. Not exactly. More how to connect to people, not disconnect. So basically, looking at myself, I at some certain age became aware that probably my name, Zamir, I am for peace, was meant by my parents to bring me into this whole peacemaking initiative, like taking the baton from Mahatma Gandhi and going next, I don't know whom, maybe you guys. So the mission, once again, until certain age, I had no mission, just, be a good student, fuck the most sexy girl, get great, freelance job assignment, something like that. And now at the end of, I'm 69 years old now, at this kind of a crossing, I realized that, hey, Zamir, it's time for you to live like every day could be the last day. Lalo, love, like there was like 4-letter abbreviation. Live like your last day or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Or as Home Goods would say, live, love, laugh.
Something. Oh, well, that's a better version for me.
Yeah, there you go.
So, guys, from now
Yeah,
to
they say,
eternity.
or YOLO.
YOLO. Thank
You only live
YOLO.
once.
You only live
only live
once.
once. Yeah.
So, guys, from now to eternity, this is my message. You don't have to drink it. I do, as I told you, like bottoms up. My chemistry is good for it. Once again, a disclaimer: Obamacare doesn't cover liver transplants. So, guys, don't call me. Don't call Zamir. Zamir, we have some problems because we drank your 5 drops vodka. I said, guys, zero liability.
Well, you always eat when you were drinking your vodka, so you teach. people.
Okay, guys, the same thing. I do meditation 3 times. Count to 4. Hold. Bite. Never empty stomach. To everybody. Zajgizon.
Cheers.
Zajgizon. Cheers. Na zdrowie. Wonderful.
What do you like most about moments like this? Is it the stories that are in your head that you want to kind of share, be a giver, be a narrator? Because obviously you wrote a book, right? It's in you. You want to tell stories.
My voice, I hope.
Is it maybe, are you always looking to fill and find the next chapter? How open are you to, because I jokingly say in my own circles as I get older, like, I'm not really in the business of making new friends. I'm in the business of like fine tuning my circle. But you've lived a much different life all over the world. So at this stage in your life, do you take more pride or do you get more excitement about telling these stories and these experiences, and even the one-on-one on how to eat a bagel and drink vodka, right? Or are you looking to consume more, the way that your friend did?
Thank you. I do try to move in a similar way, but maybe more like with a doubled vision. So I'm always searching for talent, very generic word. Talent could be of anything. Make good food, also talent, music, art, culture. I don't know why I'm not really pimping people out, but at the same time, I'm trying to use my network and kind of help them to get exposed and get a chance. Normally, just once in life, you get this lucky chance, like Bourdain, approached me and we connected. Simple as that. Saved me a lot of time to get where I am today. Maybe it would have been like 100 years until, we are on live program, and it only took me, let's say, 4 years, 5. So seriously, many, many ingredients, if you don't mind, for inspirational purposes. Ben Peramba, thank you once again Anthony Taverda, thank you for this homemade cannoli. The shell is original. There's no like bullshit fake. It's all real. So you'll see my reaction. I cannot fake it.
Not too bad.
I'm coming. Sorry, guys. No metaphoric thing. I love it. Thank you. Melts down. So we did the toast. Let's continue the dialogue. So the baton goes back to Anthony on this peace mission. All of us. You are my next talent, so I'm always open.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I got stories for you. We'll keep those coming.
Okay.
The bear over here is like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh yeah, we yeah. Some people have met
Another
him.
late night.
Some people have met him too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just think like I've traveled a good amount for an average individual. I probably have traveled above average. No, obviously nothing like what you have done, but I remember myself, just the things that I looked for was that moment in a rare place, whether it was a shop or a pub or a restaurant or whatever, where somebody does look
A beautiful woman came into picture. Don't speak her language.
Well, when they look you in the eye and you, for like a split second, you feel human. You know, and it's so hard to describe exactly what that means, but you know, right? And then you try to break down the language, or you just get a story. Oh, where you from? Oh, you like to fish? I like to fish. What kind of fish? And then you figure out what the name of the fish is in a different language. You know what I'm saying? It's so mundane.
It's a story.
Like if you were to just write it on paper, it would read like a second grade book. But when humans and adults do it, there's a lot of like energy that occurs in those moments. So my question to you is this. And again, I want to bring it back to the theme of what we're trying to do with this show. When you travel, how important is it for you to not chase maybe the headlines or the must-dos, the must-sees? How do you approach these cities, whether it's, you know, in rural America or somewhere in, you know, the Far East? How do you find people? Where do you find the experiences that are the ones that get locked in your brain and might eventually land in a book?
Simple. You mentioned that. I always keep my eyes and mind open. My every trip, even just walked out to the grocery, like a couple of streets away, I'm looking as location manager for some kind of a setting, could be end of the world, you know, moon landing, whatever. Then definitely I'm in the bakery. The people, especially the women, you know, has nothing to hide. Chemistry-wise, you know, men don't have zero traction, zero inspiration. So look at me as a gardener, you know. I think that's what probably every young, beautiful woman will not take personally. I want to help you guys. You're like the plants. Don't kind of misunderstand my bona fide intentions. I want to cross-fertilize you.
Tell the story.
Water, you know, seeds out. Does it make some sense? So maybe I'm too metaphorical, but that's the whole point. I'm like an artist myself. If someone like Antoninus and his friends, colleagues do what they do, give me 1 sec.
It's cannoli time.
The third, in Russia we cannot be like even numbers. The third toast is important. So here is a toast. That's how my mind is wired. Russian DNA, I guess.
We'll keep
Here
going.
we go. We're listening.
Yep. Listening.
Everything handcrafted, right? Antonina knows a woman who does the shell, does the custard, do whatever, different crumbs. They collect everything, add whatever is needed, and sell to us, sharing that happiness of food making. Same with booze. Thanks to Christopher Carlson, an interesting Swedish ethnic pilot who can get airborne with just his flip-flops and beautiful nails, like different colors, like a rainbow. He became my muse, inspirational-wise, but I officially call him my spiritual advisor. To finalize my idea, originally it was, you know, Moscow born, New York grown, kind of my recipe, Russian czars, doesn't matter, public domain, and American ingredients. So Chris was pragmatically and professionally very straight. Zamir, here are a couple of farms. Let's meet the farms. What kind of, you know, wheat you need? Ideally, I said winter crop. It's more fresh, more sweet, has a real kick. So long story short, Christopher, thank you for guiding me into the right direction. The farmer who helped us produce this first beautiful first batch juice of peace, and to love. Without love, you know, without men, women, there is no continuity. So from now to eternity, again and again, symbolically, and we are all in the same boat. I do bottoms up, and now it's cannoli instead of rye bread. 3 times.
keep it rotating while you're doing that.
So no even numbers. That's the
No even number.
You know what's funny? I've got a little OCD when I'm in the car with the radio.
Yeah.
When I turn the volume, it only can be on an even number volume. I can't do an odd number volume.
God,
if it's 9 or 11, like Like every night, my wife will reach over and she'll like, oh, I like this song. And she'll
That's
turn it up,
so
and my
weird.
peripheral will see that it landed on 13. I can go about a quarter of a mile before I turn it up one or down one.
That story makes me so happy.
Like,
I love everything.
I'm usually
about that.
super chill about a lot of
That's
stuff.
such a
It's
good
so-
one. Oh my God, that's such a good one.
It-
Well,
I missed something. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Not self-advertising, just the way we brought up some interesting topics. Not only odd, even superstitions between Russian culture, American culture. I believe that now, with my booze, with a book, with 60-minute documentary film available at YouTube, Zamir Discovers Britain's America, the time has come for a book 2. If you are interested, I'll spell out.
sure.
Yeah, what's the theme?
Are you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Right off the wheels. So this is easy peasy. I don't need a co-writer. I will just have different characters, and I will explain with one of them right here how it works. Good luck.
Oh dear.
Get ready. You have like 5 seconds to leave. So seriously, this time it will be Zamir as a thread, as a bridge between chapter 1, no matter where we start, up to chapter 100. Why? Different format. With memoirs, you're like within rigid borders. Childhood, first love, first sex, first pregnancy, you name it. Chronology, boring. And when I tried to bring in some character, like with Chris, some fun stories, what did it take us to find what we wanted, how much booze we misused or wrongly produced. Anyway, long story short, it's always the story and how engaging it is or it's not. So from this standpoint, guys, book 2, Untold Road Stories by Uncle Zamir. My voice, number 1, so I'm from one thread, from chapter 1 to chapter 10. But chapter 1, Zamir, I landed in St. Louis, 10th anniversary since Serena invited me. And my book signing, more importantly. So, whom do I meet? Boom, Anthony Taverna. Hi,
Yeah.
tell me about your story. How did you evolve to be owner of such an amazing place everybody loves? Boom. Next, Anthony Bartlett. Oh, Zamir, did you have your first suffix in this, Midwest? Yeah, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Wow. We connected again, chemistry, remember, first time. I thought he was like Pierre Bezukhov, or like a cousin of some Russian friend, like as if he's been with me for, most of my life, which wasn't the case. So I'm not like hallucinating. So you understand what I'm saying. Chemistry, boom. We ended up in some long night somewhere. Oh, you brought me to some cigar club.
Brennan's. Yeah.
Yes.
Brennan's. cigar.
That guy, you remember the guy with beard, I think, was the main
Yeah.
handler. So he took care of me. He showed me a lot of interesting stuff. People,
Yep.
it's kind of like Cotton Club to me as a filmmaker. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
These people are dressed like,
That was very cool.
30s or something.
It's still here. It's still here. It moved, but still here.
So, St. Louis, I'm sorry. Thank you for
Wonderful bar.
Yeah.
putting me into this.
But kind of going through, so you're thinking of doing a Midwest road story.
Yeah. Maybe
on
I will
your
start or
adventures.
will add.
Yeah.
So when in Midwest, let me make it clear why I'm so excited that I can do it off the wheels. Irina, my local friend and contact and mole, as I would sometimes jokingly introduce her, would say, Zamir, let's feel as Lewis and Clark, the people who started that whole go west kind of development, growth and changes and everything, as you know. Let's start and do something. So Vodka came up very timely to do something like revolutionary and then move like Kansas or wherever. So when Bourdain brought me in 2011, his main reason was just, okay, let's give this outsider some quintessential lifestyle American experience. Everyone needs experience or want experience. That's why they watch what
Right.
you like to watch.
Yeah.
First time tailgate with the Chiefs. I thought, fuck, it's like well-organized Russian vodka mania or some kind of,
sent you to Kansas
food
City.
porn or something. Like people eat, drink together, like basically making love, but in metaphorical terms, and they don't even go to that main stadium because that's enough. That's
Yeah.
the experience.
You were like, "There's more cased
We
meat
weren't
here
invited.
than in Poland."
My God, I mean, this is 2011. This is
Whoa.
this is tailgating pre
Yeah, I mean,
2 Super Bowls.
and I was given that the Chiefs, overcoat like with this thing, and then the finger.
Was that your first tailgate?
Yeah. Buffalo was next for
Yeah.
this film I mentioned, Zamir Discovers Brilliant America. So all in all, why I'm saying that Midwest for me, probably the balance, right? I am Monkey and Libra, born October 21. So for me, balance is important, right? Monkey could jump in and out, up and down, but then at the end of the day, I'm here, doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm sane.
So a Lewis and Clark themed Russian Midwest
Vodka?
adventure.
Maybe some
vodka.
food, maybe some spy bar. So I'm ready to put
I
the
would read
seeds.
it.
The seeds I left with this young man,
Yeah.
kind of giving us a little bit of a plant. So I'm cross-fertilizing, watering and stuff. And now maybe the time for Zamir to open spy bar with Ben or Quee or anyone, Michael Johnson, Sugar Fire, Zamir Fire kind of.
Yeah, Mike. I do.
configuration.
Mike's another one of those bears.
By the way.
He is.
Yeah, right.
I just
Great guy.
forgot his name. So anyway, I feel at home. Could be another vodka. Could be another, I don't know, like beer, cider. You tell me.
Well, okay, so just comparing and contrasting the states in particular, because you've been in Buffalo for a long time. Obviously, you've spent countless experiences in New York City. I'm sure Seattle, all the way down the coast. There's probably a little bit of a Miami excursion in there.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are talking about the Midwest in particular. For yourself, like you were forced. It's kind of a desert island moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you had to choose a region or a vibe, an American vibe,
Mm-hmm.
which of those areas would be your desert island?
For me, for this very moment, it would be San Diego as that, ocean presence,
Yeah.
nice
Okay.
people,
Of course.
neighbors, Mexicans, food, orgasmic, everything, relaxed and friendly, unlike many other parts of any other country. I don't just say only U.S. And probably, believe it or not, probably Buffalo, still Buffalo.
Yeah.
Though it's kind of degrading, sadly. There was up and down like in any place. Now I think the top chefs I know had to leave. Businesses closed down. They never survived.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, this COVID thing. So anyway, trying to give another injection of hope and peace to Buffalonians. So normally I have something like Buffalo. This is Antonino.
You say,
Tavernas.
you say Buffalo. Yeah.
Yes, Buffalo is just part of me. That's why probably the next batch, expected, by the way, next week, thank you, Zamir, for a reminder, will be 1 liter bottle, same thing with a ribbon this time as a peacemaker. And hopefully that will be very timely for your holiday season. Please, moderate drinking recommended. So basically for me, 3 toasts at dinner will be probably 1 finger thing, like I would say 50 grams max. So
Yeah.
with food, 150 for 3 toasts would be not a killer. That's why I'm back. Guys, wait for us. More peacemaking in your heart and soul and liver. More positive results will be hopefully at the end of this year.
Well,
So I tell you
Zamir,
what.
Go for it.
Yeah, you I love this, man. This is kind of like a meet one of your idols kind of days. When he texted me last night,
That's
I'm like,
the idol.
Yeah. I'm down. Because I was, quote, with you guys on your travels,
told me.
right? And, and I follow, actually Gaslight STL, the Instagram page, we connected probably about 2 years ago.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, damn. And I showed my wife, look, Zamir's following me. She's like, isn't that drunk guy that's with Bourdain?
That shady Russian kind of, yeah.
No, this has been...
Little do you know, folks, more sober than you think. Yeah.
So I got a question for you, just for our listeners, and we'll have it in the show notes as well. Best place to, the book or the vodka, or maybe just to follow along. Where can people find you? Where would you prefer them go and look?
In the world or in New York or U.S.?
Socials, your Instagram page. You want them? Just go to Amazon, buy my book. You know
Twitter.
what?
Okay, guys. Yeah, let's be realistic. Audiobook, my voice now. You see why I'm a little bit too hoarse today. It took me like about a month on and off to have 6 hours of recording. Zamir,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
the fixer and the chef. You will spend time with some interesting moments, a little bit musical injections from my local advisors, creators, sound guys. Michael, Roma, you are the best. Thank you so much. So anyway, at that website, soon you will see, give me the moment of pride, some kind of a bracelet. I won't give any more indication with the mental health, overall positivity touch. Will be available at www.zamirgotta.com, hopefully next week. And totally new, another American dream come true. It will be truffles injected with Zamir Vodka and something else. Wait till, I think, four truffles box will be available also for Christmas, hopefully on the website. So I'm trying to expand to give you much more juice, not only in the form of this 80 proof, and I have to be, again, very cautious. Please, just the last but not least, no, the one for the road, holiday season, just one finger, holiday season coming. Guys, whatever you celebrate, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Russian New Year, it doesn't matter. It's just another reason for us to sit down, have real food.
Break bread.
I'm still having.
Love it.
3 times. So, guys, to you, to love, to men, to women, dogs, animals, doesn't matter. Human beings who can be, you know, empathetic, sympathetic to the people who are not that lucky and honored, L'chaim, to have what we have in love. Cherish every moment.
L'chaim.
Bottoms up.
Zamir, thank you.
Спасибо.
We appreciate it. We will.
Samir,
We will
thank you,
continue
brother.
the dialogue. I hope it wasn't boring, right? Okay.
Oh, that was awesome.
Perfect.
Anthony, well done today. I'm going to give you a solid A-
Thank
minus today, man.
All right.
You were on
Wow. Really?
I know you like that.
I
the
never
Hoya,
before noon.
the
Yeah.
Hoya in you came through like solid.
Can we come back a little bit? We need to get back to some nighttime shit.
There we when you come back through.
Oh, wow.
Anthony
we
comes
are doing
alive about 4:00.
we are
Guys.
doing this offsite.
It does better. 4 to 6 p.m. tonight. Just please add it to the website at the Groves Grace
Okay.
book site.
Great. Oh, Grace. We're going to Grace Meet
yeah,
plus
4
3?
to 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. Grace
right.
Meet
Happy
plus
hour.
3.
We'll
In the
put
Grove.
that on socials. Zamir, thank you very much for joining us,
Come
man.
see
It's
Zamir.
been an incredible pleasure. Anthony, as always,
Thank
killed
you.
it, dude. We are out of here with a little Bourdain's favorite Stooges. No Fun is the title, but go have your fun.
Go
Until
jerk
next
off.
time.
Okay, sorry. Excuse me.
See you, people.